Welcome to the Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
I gotta take in that guitar for a riff there. Eh? Like, that one was not AI'd. I found that on a music service a few years ago now, I guess. All right, the Lock Shop is live. It is brought to you by our great partners over at Play Alberta. Thank you very much for joining us here today. Big news from the Nielson show this morning that the morning show from 6 to 9 will be simulcast on Cruise FM starting next Wednesday, which is pretty cool. Now we'll just have to say, all right, you're listening to the Nielson Show. If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please tell your friends. And also, if you are listening on Cruise FM, feel free to text us anytime at the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. See, I can do that. That's not going to be too big of a problem. So we'll be able to pull that off for sure. Looking forward to it. 780-218-9999. It's a lot of good reaction to the announcement this morning for sure. We'll continue to dive into that over the next week or so as we get ready to launch our simulcast on Cruise. And that's really what it is. I mean, we're not changing the show. We're just putting it out on the FM platform at 95.7, and it should be pretty entertaining. All right, a couple of plays already up on our EST specials page. Hopefully, Huss hasn't seen any lines yet, and we'll do a little guess the lines for Labor Day weekend. We've got the early bird bet. Jays to win, Kirk with a hit, plus 118. That's going down against the Twins. And then the CFL early bird bet got on all the dogs this morning at 6-1, and we got up to 6-1, plus 600 for all the dogs against the spread. Not to win money line, but against the spread. So we'll see how close Husking. Eric and I were not really that close this morning. We were guessing the lines before we saw them pop up, but they are up now. So we'll get into that. Once again, happy birthday to Big Uke. Die hard, ride or die, lock shopper. We appreciate that. Big Uke turning 24 years old today. No, I don't know how old Uke is, but I do think Uke is younger than we think he is. That's why I made the joke on 24.
Yeah, that was funny. That got me. Pretty sure 1997 he was born. So
he's a 97 birth year.
Yeah, and I'm 98, so he's turning 28 or 27.
Oh wow. See, younger than most of us thought.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of road in front of him, man.
Oh, yeah. Just getting started.
Oh, boy. That's, man, I'm very jealous of you only turning 28. I was just moving to Edmonton when I turned 28. Since then, had a very successful AM show that got killed. Then started Edmonton Sports Talk. It's been doing well. And then this morning, we launched a simulcast on 95.7 Cruise FM. So the Nielson show on FM radio starting September 3rd, which is pretty sweet. It's never been done in the country. Sports talk on FM, and we're not changing a thing. We're pushing a button, and then we're pushing a button when we're done. So I don't know if Cruz knows what they're getting into, but we'll let it run out for a bit. Let's bring in Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk WST. Huss, what is up, my man? How you doing?
FM Dusty.
FM Dusty. No big deal. Yeah, kind of neat. It's kind of neat, man. Like it always is just like, man, FM sports talk in the States. It's so cool. Like, how do they do that? And now we're going to try to give it a go, starting with the morning show, and we'll see if it can be successful, and who knows where it leads from here. So, but they're great, man. Like the people that reached out and were interested in us for this, They've been awesome to work with so far. And I told them straight up, like first meeting we had, I said, we're not changing anything. Like, if you want to take the show, you can take the show, but we're not changing anything. And they love the show. So they're like, no, we don't want you to change anything, man. Just do what you guys are doing, which is kind of nice to hear. It's kind of like a very refreshing conversation to have, buddy. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's a little different. I mean, since we started WST, our motto has been radio is dead.
Yeah.
We have to change it to radio is back. Because,
AM radio is dead for sure. Like, that's what I said. I did a little video today. I was like, after being on AM and your guys' station was extremely successful too. But having a very successful AM station and still having it get killed, like I could see at 1260 was struggling, but it wasn't. It was a very successful station. It was very popular in town, and it still got killed. So to me, that was sort of the sign that AM radio is 100% dead. But I think FM radio will live on for quite some time. So we will use it while we can to grow what we have, and we'll see where it goes from there.
It's funny you say that, because for the longest time I'd have these conversations about our old stations, and it would just get my blood boiling at how dumb it was that they just shut it down. I mean, there were so many other options that could have
taken it online,
make money. I mean, all of that. Now seeing the way it's worked out for us, I'm fine with the way everything's happened. But it is cool, especially in your market where that morning show was such a big part of people's mornings. I imagine most people are tech savvy enough to be able to just use the app.
That's what you would think. That's what you would think, man. But
at the same point, God. I mean, there's going to be, listen, it's more Nielsen show for the people. That's bottom line.
That's all they want. That's all they want. More scalding hot takes.
What does Cruz normally play?
They play like classic rock. So it fits in well. Like when we're done at 9:00, I'll be like, head on over to Edmonton Sports Talk, tune in, iHeart, YouTube. The hangout's going to be starting right away. If you're going to stick around on Cruise FM, back to some of the sweet tunes that they play, and they go about their day, we go about our day, and we'll see how it all plays out.
AC/DC coming up.
Coming up next. Break. That'll be the only time I actually get to throw to like rock music, because like we're just taking over, so we're not really doing anything. But at the end of the show, I'll be like, coming up next, Chad Kroger, Nickelback, How You Remind Me on Cruise FM. And then that'll be the end of it, I guess.
From the request line.
Somebody said this morning that Eric and I need to come up with like old cool FM radio names.
Yeah.
Like back in I don't know even what Max Power. I don't know what it would.
Dusty's a pretty good one. You got to start it with Dusty Daniels. You got to have the good, like the two.
Yeah, you got to have a hard D after.
Same name.
Yeah. That's not a bad one, actually. I think we might be able to pull that off. But no, it was exciting. It was exciting news today for sure. And hopefully, I mean, the plan here is to use the 3 hours in the morning to market all of the great content that we're turning out on EST, right? So many people, and it's funny, like I have a bunch of people today who replied on Twitter, was like, God, I can't wait to listen to you again. I'm like, man, if you really liked us, you would have figured out a way to click play on iHeart over the last 2 years, man. But whatever. They never, some of those people didn't navigate over. Did I tell you about the guy who's downstairs here? This Benjamin Moore Paints guy. I mentioned it. So he was a real good example. I pop in, had to paint a wall when we moved in here, and we're literally right above a Benjamin Moore Paint. So I go in, and I say, yeah, I'm looking for this blue paint, blah, 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 blah. I said, we're moving in upstairs. I'm your new neighbor. I'm Dustin. Nice to meet you. And he goes, I know who you are. I said, oh, he goes, I was listening the morning they blew you out, and my mornings haven't been the same since. And I was just like biting my tongue. I was just like, I said, yeah. I said, well, things are going pretty good. We've doubled in size and we're moving in upstairs. He goes, oh yeah, like on the internet thing, the podcast thing. I was like, sure. Like, so there's like 50,000 dudes like that guy in town who literally think we've been unemployed for 2 years. So we'll connect with those people. We'll see how much it can grow, everything that we're doing here at EST. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, then the contract is set up that we can kind of just go back to what we were doing here without much turnaround time. So we'll see. Cowboy says, Dusty Danger. You're listening to Dusty Danger on Cruise FM.
Maybe a
know about that
triple
one.
D. Dangerous.
Yeah. Dangerous Dusty Daniels.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think the important thing for Lock Shop people, for Hangout people, for Reed Wilkins show people, for people that are listening to Gager and Hernan, like hopefully it'll just bring some more people realizing
That's the thing, right?
You know, you're going to hit Dusty's show in the car in the morning, but when you get to the office, you can fire up the YouTube
Pop online, baby.
Put on your iHeart, you'll be good to go. So
I think when we do our first day, we'll probably have Reed Wilkins on because many people think he died when he left Chet as well. So it'll be good to get Reed Wilkins back in front of some people as well. So that should be good. It was a big victory. It wasn't as big as Tommy Fleetwood's victory from the weekend, but a victory for the little guys, us guys like yourself and me and the whole crew we've got here. And Tommy Fleetwood didn't blow it, my man.
He didn't. He nutted out. You know, it is sort of funny that, you know, technically his first win was in a 30-person field, but let's remember that you had to be there in the 70. It really was like a tournament that went over 12 rounds. So I don't take anything away from him. It was the best 30 in the world that were playing in the event this year. And he got it done. And man, was that a great scene. The hair flip, the yell afterwards. And the reason why I think people were so happy for Tommy is that the way he's handled all of his near misses with such ultimate class. Like in a year when Colin Morikawa looked like a entitled brat earlier on this season at the Players and then doubled down on it. The time when Rory McIlroy won the Masters and then got into some sort of weird media feud and decided that he wasn't going to show up after bad rounds. Fleetwood has been the epitome of class. And he had far more reasons to maybe get a little pissy or feel sorry for himself than those other guys did. That's why I think people love Fleetwood so much. And even in the United States, in a time where we're gearing up for Ryder Cup and you heard people chanting, USA, USA. I mean, the fans are getting ready to go and the lines are being drawn. Everybody loved to see Tommy Fleetwood win yesterday. It was an awesome moment for the tour.
Yeah, I thought that was a really nice way to wrap up the year of Scotty Scheffler. So he managed to get it done. Hush, you haven't looked at CFL lines just yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay, good.
I heard you mentioning something, so I cranked the volume down.
Okay, good. Yeah, I should have said CFL spoiler alert, Huss, and then you would have known to. But let's recap the weekend that was. And I know you guys would have talked about things on Friday when I was golfing in that golf tournament. Winnipeg picks up the win in Montreal. How about Edmonton hanging 30 on Ottawa and coming away with a comfortable 10-point victory, 3 in a row, heading into Labor Day here. Us against a very good Calgary team, don't get me wrong, but still, I mean, you got to beat the teams in front of you, and Cody Fajardo's found a way. Got it done. Got the win. Good teams win, great teams cover. The Elks are turning into a great team, another cover. Hey, they've taken care of business against the East. And now they've got some momentum, and you know, they get ready for a Calgary team that has got to be feeling pretty darn good about themselves after what they did on the weekend. Hey, just quickly, I don't want to miss this because we probably won't get back to golf. Okay. Tommy was a great story. Brooke Henderson. Oh man, Brooke Henderson winning the Women's Canadian Open, and she'd had a terrible season this year. I was going to say, when was the last time she won? I saw Bob Weeks being like a champion again. It had been a while, and she was 40-1, anywhere from 40 to 50-1 to win the event. So, like, not even near the favorites. And dueled Minjee Lee, got the win for, I believe that's her second Canadian Open title. But just did not want to forget about Brooke because that's a massive, massive win for her. And I was having major FOMO seeing her on the leaderboard yesterday, knowing that I did not put a little sprinkle down on her to win. You know, so that was her first win since January of 2023. So over 2 years between wins. 2 years. So, yeah, big for her to get that. Prior to that, she had 2 wins in 2022, 1 in 2021, and then burst on the scene with 2 in 17, 2 in 18, 2 in 19. So, yeah, nice to see her pick that up. She's got 12 LPGA Tour victories and then 2 major championships as well. So yeah, that was a good note.
Just wanted to give her a shout out. Tommy Fleetwood, big story, but here north of the border, Brooke winning again was a great moment. But yeah, back to the Elks. I mean, listen, a pretty strong game. I thought they had the game really in control. Thought Ottawa came out of the gate in the second half, showing that they weren't going to die. Crum led a nice run, but when the game got tight later on, once again, we saw Cody Fajardo nails in the fourth quarter. Man, he made some big plays, and maybe the biggest play of the year, after that really, really concerning injury in the fourth quarter where they had the lengthy delay. Elks came back out on a 2nd and long, and Cody hit the name is escaping me for like a 40-yard I should know this because I had the over on his receiving.
Was it Gittins?
Yeah, Curly Gittins Jr.
Yeah.
So it was nice because not only was that a huge play for the Elks point spread pick, but Gittins Jr. also won his hit the over on that one. Curly Gittins Jr. was over 56.5. I think he was sitting at about 33, and he made that one as well. So listen, just a big play at a big time. If they don't get that, all of a sudden Ottawa's within a score and coming back, and who knows what happens. So it's been pretty fun to see. I guess there hasn't been much talk about Trey Ford in Edmonton over the past couple weeks. I imagine.
No, I mean the conversation right now, man, is. Basically, could you get a couple more years out of Fajardo? Right? Like, can he be your guy? He's 32. Yeah, he's 32, 33 years old. So you could get 3 years out of Fajardo at least, I think. So he's been able to. Now look, he's no Nick Arbuckle, or maybe he just wasn't playing BC's defense. But like somewhere this morning, Nick Arbuckle threw for 30 more yards and a touchdown on the BC Lions defense. I was stunned. I know BC's defense is not good, but you get Toronto without Coxie, and they put up 52 on you to the point where Chad Kelly is chirping you, and he's in street clothes on the sideline, man. That was a bad look for the BC Lions.
That was tough. So here are your numbers in this game. And, on the surface, you'd think that, BC probably won. Like Nathan Rourke, 20 of 31, 326, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. They got James Butler, 83 yards on 11 carries and 2 touchdowns. I mean, Keon Hatcher, another monster game, 131 in the yards. 3 other receivers over 50 yards. McInnes Cottoy with 2 touchdowns. Going like, man, okay, that's a great game. Well, let's see what the Argos did. Oh, Nick Arbuckle, 26 of 33. For 430 yards and 3 touchdowns. At the same time, Spencer Brown carried it 19 times for 85 yards and a TD. They ended up rushing the ball 26 times in the game, completing 26 passes, perfectly balanced offense. And they just absolutely smashed BC. And I had BC minus 3.5. I was running around. It's 14-6, like bang, bang, touchdown. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be great. Well, they were down a touchdown by the time we got to halftime. And then they just kept going. Like, I don't know what to say, whether we just have to, give it up for Ryan Dinwiddie, saying that, first of all, his team isn't quitting. I mean, to have that performance without Coxie, who for my money is a top 3 receiver in the league. I mean, Nick Arbuckle, listen, you don't have to tell people in Winnipeg that this guy can win a big game.
Yeah.
I don't even know whether this technically was a big game. I mean, I guess it was just to try to be relevant in the season. But the happiest people around about that game should be in Edmonton.
Yes.
Because that loss by BC to an Eastern team when the Elks have been beating the teams in the East is really big when it comes to the standings. I mean,
they're 2 points back with a game in hand, man.
What? Yeah, they're 1 win behind. You win the game in hand, and you're tied with BC. So there's it's wide open right now. And obviously Toronto and Ottawa both with 3 wins and 8 losses on the season. Listen, if Edmonton can find a way to get into 4th place in the West, I think there's a very good chance that they could cross over based on where things are at right now.
Yeah, especially with these wins against the East that pretty much they had to have. Arbuckle has thrown for almost 3,500 yards this year. Bo Levi's sitting at 3,057. Like he's on an all-time run right now. It's also thrown for 20 touchdown passes, which is just one behind Bo Levi as well. So, I mean, Arbuckle, after the game he had in the Grey Cup, you're like, oh, well, we'll see what happens with Arbuckle moving forward. And then, nobody still gave him respect. And Chad Kelly's sitting there. You're going, oh, Chad Kelly will be back. Then we'll see what. But, I mean, Arbuckle's been. I'm stunned. To be honest with you, I'm stunned that Arbuckle is at 3,500 yards already and 20 touchdowns. Incredible story.
What do you think the flight was back for the guys on the defensive side of the ball in BC?
I mean, they should have probably made them take a bus home. That just can't happen. And I know BC's defense all year has been more bad than good, but I've seen some spurts where they look okay, but they've allowed 324 points in 11 games so far. Now, the rest of the teams in the West have only played 10, but Calgary's allowed 207 points. The Riders have allowed 215 points. Winnipeg's allowed 265 points, so they'd have to allow 60 in their next game to match up against the numbers that BC is putting up. And Edmonton would have to allow 40-some points in their next game to hit what's going on with the Lions right now. So, I don't know. It's very encouraging. You're right. I mean, that was great news for Edmonton. Now, Edmonton gets Calgary this week, and Calgary goes and puts the boots to the Riders for the Riders are 8-2. The 2 games that they've lost against are Calgary. Calgary is 5-0 against Winnipeg and Saskatchewan so far. And I mean, they fully thrust themselves back into the conversation as maybe the best team in the Canadian Football League. When you're 2-0 against the only team that's ahead of you in the standings, I think it's a pretty valid case they can make, Huss.
Well, they're right in they're in second right now. Saskatchewan in first, Winnipeg in third, and Calgary is 5-0 against the Riders and the Bombers this year. The crazy thing is that they're 2-3 in their other games, including 2 losses to the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Those are weird because one was a weather game, and then one was PJ Walker.
Yeah.
Right. So.
I mean, the weather game, I don't know how that's an excuse. Ottawa played in the same.
That's true. I think
game for Calgary.
I think the weather was so bad though it changes the abilities of both teams. People who did that game said they'd never seen weather like that ever. So it levels the playing field, I guess. But you are right. I mean, Ottawa had to play in it as well. So I mean that's fair, but I still think you play the game against Ottawa in even remotely okay weather, Calgary probably rolls them.
Yeah, certainly if VA's playing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it certainly sets up for now we can sort of, all right, the season starts at Labor Day. Well, I mean, we're now into the second half of the season. That was a lot more applicable when the season started a lot later and you were at around game 7 or 8 of the season than 10 or 11. But starting off with this weekend in the West, we're going to find out big time. Can the Elks get back into the realistic picture of making the playoffs? And can the Bombers get back into the conversation in the West with a massive win in the Labor Day game?
All right, so let's dive into these lines. One of them, I believe, has already moved 2 points since it opened this morning. Anyway, Winnipeg at the Riders. Obviously, a game that you don't need to know much about. Bombers and Riders, Labor Day. What do you got, Huss? What do you think this number's at?
Sask -6.
Okay, Sask -7. Not far off. Is that what
it opened at, or that's the one?
No, that one had opened at 7. That one hasn't moved. That did open at 7. I said earlier today I thought it might be around 5.5, but so it's at 7. Argos Ticats.
Argos, Ticats. We're going to go Hamilton -4.
6.5. 6.5. So I already said this morning, I like all the dogs at these current numbers. And the total, I said this morning on the show before we saw these lines, I said the total in the Toronto-Hamilton game, you could put it at 58.5. And I'd still be like, I'm on the over in this one. It has come in at 56.5. So high number, but over on that one.
And then Edmonton and Calgary.
Yeah. This line has moved 2 points since we first saw it this morning.
Okay, so I bet it opened as Calgary -8, and it's now Calgary -6.
No, it opened at Calgary -6.5, and it's now Calgary -8.5. Your reaction to CFL lines are one of my favorite things.
Really?
Yeah. I'm almost certain this was 6.5 because I threw it on our little EST early week parlay because I was just like, I want to get on all the dogs. So we've got on, okay, so they have moved. So this morning, this is what the numbers were this morning, and I locked them in. It was Bombers 6.5, which is what you guessed. So it's up to 7. So that moved to 7. The Argos are still at 6.5, and Edmonton was at 7. I thought Edmonton was at 6. So it was at 7, and now it's 8.5. So it's moved a 1.5 since this morning already. So I threw all the dogs. Those are big numbers in a league where the season has been pretty damn competitive so far. I put the Bombers at 6.5, the Argos at 6.5, and the Elks at 7 into a 3-gamer and got it boosted to plus 600. So that's it there at
all
6-1.
Division games, all huge rivalry games.
Some big numbers, man.
I'm sort of with you too. Do I think that there's a possibility the Riders could run away with the Labor Day game for sure? Hamilton coming off the bye are going to be in a really good situation, although it's a Monday game, so there's plenty of time to
lots of time for everybody.
For the Argos. Same with that. But Toronto's offense is just running so hot. That's a big ask to cover a touchdown plus against, a team that you can probably count on putting up 30 plus. And then it's wild to me that everyone's hammering Calgary. And I guess they just did have an amazing performance.
Amazing game against the Riders, yeah.
Shutting down Saskatchewan in the second half and, allowing no points.
Well, let me ask you this, Haas. With all these 3 teams being essentially a touchdown dog, which one of them has the best chance to pull off a straight-up money line upset?
Oh, I'd love to say the Bombers, but I don't think that is the case. It's either Toronto or Edmonton. I guess I'll say Toronto just because to me, Saskatchewan and Calgary have sort of been...
They look so strong, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm totally not ruling out Edmonton. I think that will be a game that will be interesting and tight in the fourth quarter. Are you calling that game?
I'm doing Calgary Edmonton. Yeah, I'm doing yeah, and then the rematch game as well. Those are my 2 games
so
for the next 2 weeks.
You won't be in the nasty section.
No, but my joke is, and somebody just messaged us and said that we might have both buses already sold out, which would be awesome. But I plan on greeting every single person that comes off the bus. Hello, welcome to Calgary. Enjoy the game. Hello, because I'll be there already. I'll be waiting for them. So I plan on greeting the buses when they roll in for the Labor Day game. But it should be good. It's going to be nice to bring down a couple of buses of Elks fans and release them into the tailgate for a couple of hours before before kickoff.
Repping the EST. Now, will you be able to finish the game, race downstairs, grab a 12-pack, and at least make the most of Labor Day weekend on the ride home on the bus?
No, I'll have my vehicle down there because I'm driving down on Sunday night. So I will not be able to, but I will award 2 lucky individuals with a ride home in my truck instead of the bus. Just kidding. I'm not. I got to get home quickly. First day of school the next day. So I wish I could be on that bus going home. Man, that would be fun. But I guess maybe I could.
You don't have to worry about driving, kick back.
I could maybe rent a car or take it down there and leave it there. But I'd rather drive home as quickly as I possibly can. Get home for a big day the next day. So, but I just think, like, what do you expect to move here? Like, I feel like these are pretty these are big numbers. You said it. It's Labor Day. It's division rivals. It's been a pretty close season so far. We've seen some of these dogs pull off these victories. Like, which one?
I think the Elk number gets to 7 or less.
Back down to 7 or inside 7. Yeah. I think that's probably the play.
So
if you like the Elks, 8.5 right now, that's the best number you're going to get.
I would take the Elks right now in that one. And what did you say the Argos were? 6?
The Argos are 6.5.
So I would take the Argos right now there too.
Yeah.
Even a 2-gamer. Like the
man, but I like what's the Bombers receiver situation us? Because I like the Bombers at 7-2, but I saw who they signed today. They signed a couple guys today, didn't they?
2 guys.
They signed
Kyron Williams.
Kyron Moore.
Or Kyron Moore, excuse me.
I like Kyron Moore, actually. I think he'll fit in well in that offense.
I've been doing a lot of mock drafts.
Yes, you have, haven't you?
Kyron Williams. And then they signed Cam Eccles.
Eccles. And I like him too. He was in Calgary last year.
From Calgary. I mean, he's a guy that hasn't done a ton of damage, but at least have some.
Eccles made a great touchdown reception. I don't think last year, but the year before. It was his first TD with the Stampeders. And it was a great catch. I mean, both those guys should probably be in the league. So, but is Dembski and Stearns out first? Do we know? Like, what's
no? They haven't said anything because they haven't practiced yet. I would expect Stearns is out for a while, just based on the hit that he took, and it just looked like his shoulder was not right. The Dembski situation's a little different. We're gonna wait to see because that was basically I think he was into the protocol for concussion. So there certainly is enough time for him to come back if he's feeling good, but we just don't know. The last time we saw him was when he was leaving the field before the end of the first half in the game on Thursday night. So I imagine we'll have an update on Dembski probably tomorrow from the Bombers. But in the meantime, they're not waiting around. They've added 2 players, and who knows? Does this mean maybe they're not so sure about Dalton Schoen coming back this week?
Yeah. That could be
it. You could say that Schoen, Ontario Wilson also got cut by the Jets on the week.
Did he get cut?
He got cut by the Jets. Now, he hasn't returned to Winnipeg, but he would be a guy that I'm sure they would love to have in the mix. So I don't know. We're still on the other side of the halfway point of the season, and there's nothing really clear right now with the Bomber receiving core. But holy smokes, what a game. I didn't get to talk to you on Friday. Brady Oliveira.
Oh, man.
That was an MOP. That was an MOP level game by 20 on Thursday night, dude. He put the team on his back.
That was it, right? And that's why I wonder, can he do that against the Riders to cover the 7? Right? Like, can they just be like, it doesn't matter. Brady's just going to have a day, regardless of who's available at wide receiver for them.
Sask is too good. They can't just give it to Brady on every play and expect him that he's going to go for 5 or 6 or 7. Sask defense, you're going to have to keep them honest with the passing game.
Yeah, but I would counter that Montreal's defense. You run into Sankey and Beverette and a pretty good defensive. Like, Montreal's problem is not their defense. It's their to do what he did against the Alouettes. I think the Alouettes are still a top 3 defense. What's that?
But Zach was 27 of 31.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, that helps.
Playing at a high level. If you're going to have that sort of success on the ground, they can't be just putting 8 guys in the box on every play and you're beating them that way. You need to have them respect what the quarterback can do throwing the football. And certainly Zach, as I said, had one of his probably most complete and effective games of the year against Montreal, even though it was Brady, it was looking good. Oliveira had over 200 yards combined. He had 137 on the ground and I think another 70 something in the air.
Who does this guy think he is? Justin Rankin? Unbelievable.
We didn't get the over on Rankin. I thought that was going to happen, but he had a few chances. But I took the Gittins over the Elks against the spread and came through. It was a nice little start to the weekend with those ones.
All right. You can message us anytime, 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube today, let's hammer the thumbs up for the Lock Shop. Hey, why not? Keeping you going with some CFL betting throughout the summer, NFL betting, college football betting just around the corner as well. I had Jamie Thomas on today.
What did JT have to say?
Well, he brought me up to speed that, we talked fantasy. We talked all-time Winnipeg Whipping Boys. A lot of Logan Stanley conversation there with,
Stanley. He stands high up on that power pole, probably number one.
That's what he said. Well, because that's actually, let me ask you this, right now, but what about Jets 2.0? Who's the biggest whipping boy in Jets 2.0?
Stan might be number one.
Really?
Because, he has been around long enough. I mean, he was a rounder in 2016 and then has sort of been with the club, in the lineup, out of the lineup, hurt, in the lineup, ahead of people that others maybe would have thought would have played. So he would certainly be right there at the top. The original one probably was Mark Stewart, who was a really beloved member of the team early on and then just lost a step and was not effective at all, and they ended up buying him out. He, of course, now an assistant coach with the Edmonton Oilers. Stu was a big guy. Pavlik early on, like Pav was crazy. Like he'd have like shots of Pavlectricity where he just no one could score on him, and then he'd let in brutal goals. So he would certainly be one of those guys. And then last year it was weird because Stanley wasn't really playing and people didn't have Stan to bitch about. Mason Appleton all of a sudden became a guy that everyone was on, which was just a weird thing. I mean, he had a career year the year before. He was a regular on the Adam Lowry line, which was arguably the best third line in the National Hockey League. Unfortunately for Appleton, he had a puck on his stick in Game 6 against Dallas with a wide open net that wasn't able to convert. And that moment, that screenshot, I think sort of lived in infamy. And he obviously signed as a free agent elsewhere. So Logan Stanley, I think probably gets the number one. Toby Enstrom for a while for some fans, and then other fans thought that he was like the greatest thing ever. Analytic darling playing with Buff. I was a fan of Toby. But yeah, dating back, those guys for sure. But I think, unfortunately for Stanley, he was picked like 5 years into the return of the team, spent the 3 or 4 years in junior, came with high expectations. The team has sort of propped him up and maybe given him more opportunities that most players would have given. And he's been okay at times, kind of a liability at others. So he would certainly be the guy where are things at in your bracket right now?
Stu,
one seed?
Well, it's a great question because there's a few of them, I think. Like Nurse absolutely destroyed Bouchard yesterday to advance to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Skinner is picking apart Mikko Koskinen right now.
This is Stuart Skinner? Or
Stuart Skinner. So you're looking at one Final Four matchup will be Nurse versus Skinner. And then the other two...
Battle of the Titans.
Heavyweights. And then the other matchups in the Elite Eight here will be Horkoff, who beat Lucic, and Jesse Puljujärvi, who beat Jason Arnott. So it'll be Horkoff versus JP. And then it'll be GM Kevin Lowe versus GM Peter Chiarelli. And Chiarelli had a very strong first round performance. So I think it's going to be Chiarelli. I don't know who comes out of this Nurse Skinner matchup, which will be going down next week. So
is there a coach's bracket?
Well, we did coach and management together. So it was Kevin Lowe versus Dallas Aikens and Peter Chiarelli versus Steve Tambellini. And Chiarelli rolled, and Kevin Lowe it was a split decision, but Kevin Lowe advanced past Dallas Aikens. Kevin Lowe is he's such a good guy, and nobody is more passionate about the Edmonton Oilers than Kevin Lowe, but he had that stretch there where he talked about the tier 2 fans, and I know a thing or two about winning, and there were Facebook groups and billboards and newspaper pages taken out trying to get him fired. Like it was insane. So, I mean, it's just, Eric said this morning, it's all heavy hitters now. These are all number 1s and 2 seeds. You know what I mean? Like this is like our bracket has Villanova, Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, UNC, all in their prime. That's what this is. Yeah.
The Nurse Skinner showdown is going to be, I predict Nurse wins.
You think so?
I think Nurse.
You think he wins the whole thing or just beats Skinner?
Oh, I'm just thinking of that one. It's hard for me to handicap against because they are active players on the team. There will be fans that'll be like, wow, I'd rather not pile on a guy that maybe is
not here
out of season right now. But yeah, I guess so.
Anyway, so we had JT on, we talked about that, but then we were talking about fantasy. And I said, hey, you're still running that league that you kicked me out of? And he said that he won it last year. And then he said that you guys went out, did the draft, and you were a big portion of the tab compared to some other guys. That's what he said. He said Huss kind of stole the show.
Listen, I had a few beers, but there was I don't even think I ate at the thing. I didn't realize I was taking a spot in the in there, so I didn't know that it was everyone was going to town and eating and all that. So yeah, but I had I would say that is pretty much fake news by Jamie, but I'll take the the shot.
That league, if I remember correctly, what do you keep keepers in certain rounds that you drafted them the year before, right?
Yeah.
So how did the team come together?
Well, you know what was amazing? You have to keep your player one round ahead of where you picked them last year.
Yeah, so you can't keep first rounders; they all go back in, right?
Exactly. I took Bucky Irving in the last round.
Oh, great value.
Last round pick. Exactly. So I'm getting Bucky Irving for a 13th. I'm picking 6th in the draft is where my pick is. So I think.
And is it just one keeper? So you're just keeping Bucky?
There's 3. There's 3.
Oh, who are your other 2?
3 keepers. So I'm taking Bucky Irving with my 13th pick.
Yeah.
I took JSN in the 8th round.
Yeah.
So I've got him as a 7th rounder.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think I'm going to just keep Justin Jefferson. And basically I'm getting Justin Jefferson at 6 overall.
Oh, so you can do that, and then you don't get your.
I had him with a 2nd rounder.
Okay, yeah.
So if I want to keep him, I got to use my 1st round pick to keep him. I mean, there's a good chance he might be there at that time, but he might not. Like, he'll go top 5 in a lot of drafts. Yeah,
I mean, he's usually somewhere between 4 and 7, 4 and 6. He usually doesn't end up in 7. He's somewhere between 4 and 6.
So that's what I mean. I think that's fine value. I love having him on my team. And I'll basically be starting off with Jefferson, JSN at receiver, and then Bucky Irving with a super late pick. So yeah, I think I'm in pretty good shape. I did 1 million mocks this weekend. 1 million mocks this weekend.
There's nothing like a mock weekend, buddy.
I do. Well, the funny thing is I mean, most of the leagues that I'm in have some semblance of keeper, or we do quite a few auctions, which I prefer. But this is one where it's just a straight up home league, snake draft, redraft every year, 12 teams. So we did a marble race on the show to determine the draft order last week. And as it turned out, I won.
Really?
So I'm first. Which, to be honest, I don't really like. I would prefer not to be there. I hate Jamar Chase. So I either make that pick.
You got to take Chase, though. I know you hate him, but you got to take him.
Pretty much do. Like, I'm hoping maybe I can turn around and make some sort of deal after the fact and get like.
You would be able to, man. Like, people, if you say, "Hey, Jamar Chase is available," you will get some sick offers.
1-1 is on the 1-1 is on the block. What's weird, though, is in a 12-team league, like just say you take the chalk and you take him there. I spent all weekend seeing what was left for me coming back.
At the 2-3 swing, yep. What'd you like?
Well, usually it's a combination of usually Brock Bowers is gone.
He's gone by then. Yep.
Once in a while, couple times he's been available. Other guys that occasionally get there, but usually don't. Bucky Irving, Chase Brown. And the other question is, if you're picking 2-3, like last pick in the second round, first pick in the third round, you also have to make the decision as to, do you want one of the heavy hitters at QB?
At QB, because they're not going to be there in the 4 or 5 swing.
They're certainly not going to be there at the end of the fourth round. Now, in most cases, they're all there. Let me hit you this.
Well,
How would you give me your power poll? Give me your of the top 4: Hurts, Lamar, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels.
And to me, I like Burrow. I put Burrow in there ahead of Hurts, actually. So I would.
No, that's insane. That's insane.
I don't know.
Jalen Hurts is the most consistent player maybe ever in fantasy. He had 16 or 15 touchdowns.
Yeah, but how many did he throw for? I think Burrow's going to throw for more than 20 more. Let's see here.
Burrow has almost no rushing yards, which is really key.
So last year, Jalen Hurts threw 18 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. The Eagles throw less than everybody. If you have Hurts scoring 16 touchdowns and then passing for 18, and you got Joe Burrow in a 6 touchdown passing per point league, and then he throws 40 touchdowns, that's going to be more than Jalen Hurts.
6, I don't know. There's not very many 6 per touch. I think 4 is usually more the standard.
I think 2 of my big 3 leagues are 6.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that changes.
That would change. That would change things. So anyway, for me, it would be Lamar, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels. I have Burrow slightly ahead of Hurts, but that's probably a personal preference. I don't really like Jalen Hurts.
But you take Lamar over Josh Allen?
I would take Lamar over Josh Allen. I brought up this mock as you were talking about your mocks. I just did it on Fantasy Pros quickly, just against the computer, just to see. And took Jamar Chase at 1. Josh Allen went 208. So it came back around, and here's what your options would be there. Lamar, Jaden Daniels, Hurts, still there. Chase Brown, Bucky Irving, both still there. And then lots of receivers went in this draft because T. Higgins is the next up. You don't want to stack Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So I definitely go running back there. And I would, to be honest, I would probably take Lamar ahead of the T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson sort of group.
Oh, for sure. Well, put it this way. I'm just thinking, if I have Jamar Chase, I normally would not want to have my number 1 receiver, my number 1 running back on the same team.
Yeah.
But with this Cincy offense,
with Chase Brown,
like that. So, listen, I might just do running back there. Take Bucky Irving and Chase
Brown. Yeah.
And basically you got 2 pretty much bell cows and you're set there.
I did a draft on Saturday with the boys down in Lethbridge. Let me give you my team here, Huss, before we slide out. So my keepers in this league were Jaden Daniels, Bucky Irving, CeeDee Lamb, and Nico Collins. And we do 5-man bench. So my team ended up being this: Jaden Daniels, Bucky Irving, O'Marion Hampton, CeeDee Lamb, Nico Collins. I got a little bit of a Tyler Warren boner right now. So I took Tyler Warren at tight end. And then I've got Tet McMillan as a flex option, and then also in there Calvin Ridley, Matthew Golden, and I waited on running back, and I took Braylon Allen and Jerome Ford. And then we usually don't draft 2 quarterbacks, but it's a 12-team league. And with my very last pick, Brock Purdy was there anyway, so I took Brock Purdy just to keep him away from somebody else who waited on quarterbacks. So
you can drop him.
I can drop him if I have to. Yeah. So, but I like that team. It's a little young, but I like it. So we'll see how it goes. But that's a keeper league. So
you got the McMillans and those guys. That I'm trying to get in every one of my leagues.
Tyler Warren
and Braylon Allen.
Yeah. Yeah, you get Braylon Allen still pretty late. Yeah. It's kind of a long-term play, but
sometimes I've been getting hit and I've kind of been getting stuck with Breece Hall in the 2-3 spot.
Yeah, I'd rather wait and take Allen late.
You have to get Braylon Allen if you have Breece Hall.
Yeah, which you can. You could use a second round pick on Breece Hall and then take Braylon Allen in the 8th and just have your ass covered essentially, right? So what's coming up on WST, buddy?
Well, busy weekend to chop up. We had the CBL Championship here. We had the Manitoba Open. Obviously, some great golf stories. We haven't really touched on the Jays today. They're back in action against the Twins tonight. How about that start by Shane Bieber on Friday? Oh, my God. So
yes.
We'll get into that.
That's exciting.
We will start hyping up the Labor Day game. We're going to head out to Regina. Mike McIntyre is going to jump on. Connor's back from his weekend out in Banff, so we'll have him on the program as well and get the latest on these moves that the Bombers are making.
Good stuff, man. You have a good show, and we'll catch up tomorrow.
Enjoy. Congrats again on the FM dial, buddy.
Hey, yeah, thanks a lot, man. There you go. That is Huss, a former AM radio legend that was done dirty in Winnipeg, but I have to tell you, I mean, he's bounced back very, very strong with Winnipeg Sports Talk, as have we with EST, and now just adding the FM radio platform as a nice little supplement onto what we're doing. I think is an excellent addition. Let's take a look at, let's see here. Let's take a look at our EST specials page. Sorry, a bunch of emails keep popping up. Early bird bet of the day, Blue Jays to win, Kirk with a hit plus 118. And then we've got the Bombers plus 6.5, the Argos plus 6.5, the Elks plus 7. That is locked in at plus 600. You can go find it on the EST specials tab over at Play Alberta. If you know, you download the Play Alberta app. Everything you need, casino games, lottery, sports betting, right there at your fingertips with Play Alberta. Just make sure you use your game sense. We're going to have the oil stream coming up next. Jeff Jackson said, what about Connor McDavid's contract? To be honest with you, I don't know yet. I'm going to check the clip out myself. And we'll dive into it on the oil stream coming up. We'll take a look at this Whipping Boy bracket today. Tyson Barrie calls it quits as well. He has some good times here. Tyson Barrie's got an excellent goal song we had for him back in the day. But that's going to do it for the Lock Shop today. Thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck if you're riding with us tonight. And we will talk to you tomorrow.